Hey, what's up guys? My name is Isaiah Hill, and today I'm continuing my Let's Play of Back to the Future. Um, we have had like a rather interesting journey from messed up Hill Valley to a messed up girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend in this case, and parents who are apparently spies, and the press one at that.
What's the problem, citizen?
Oops, wrong number.
What's
And
the
they
problem,
usually do
citizen?
this all the time.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine now. Thank you.
There's Star Wars reference.
How are you?
What's the problem, citizen?
Yeah, I'll have a double animal style with fries and a diet.
That's it. It's called an emergency intercom for a reason. I'm wrapping you for an SCR 300. Take your demerit printout before you go.
Just aggravate the swap boxes.
Perfect place to live. Almost a no-no.
Effective against moths, mosquitoes, and tannins.
Attention, citizens! This domicile is in violation of Civic Ordinance CZ-36 and has been placed in protective quarantine until corrective measures can be taken. Please back away from the house and have a nice day.
What the hell?
Don't violate the perimeter, son.
Hey, demerit.
What?
Sufficiently polished shoes. Good day, citizen.
Marty's guitar.
Hey, what's my guitar doing out here?
Your mother and I convinced you to give it up, remember? Rock and roll music is frowned on by the Brown administration. It sets a poor example for all the kids who look up to you as a model of studiousness and moral gravity. And besides, you're not very good.
That face. And Marty being looked up to. Wow.
Come on, Dad. I need that guitar.
Give me one good reason why I should give it back to you.
Because
I need to impress Jennifer.
a certain girl is only gonna like me if I can play the guitar.
A certain girl. You don't mean...
Jennifer.
Oh, Martin. Why are you fixated on that little hellion? She's nothing but trouble.
Yeah, my kind of trouble.
And besides, the way you play guitar, you're only gonna drive her further Go ahead, son. Do your worst.
Thanks, Dad. This is my axe. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Day in Hill Valley. A perfect place to live. That wasn't a note of irony in your voice, was it, citizen?
Greetings, programs. LeBrock 2.0. Anatomical constructs for sciences of all sorts. Boring.
Okay, so I gotta give him Marty's sheet.
I saw Mom downtown. She told me to give this to you.
Thanks.
Say, what gives around here?
Ah, you know, the usual. Keeping tabs on Hill Valley through my trusty bank of monitors. Always on the lookout for some interesting footage.
Oh, that is creepy.
Interesting. What do you mean, interesting?
What kind of silly question is that? I've been gathering candid documentary footage for Citizen Brown's promotional videos for over a year now. I know your mother doesn't approve of my work, but wait a minute. You say you saw Lorraine? 11 to 12 hair salon, 12 to 12:20 lunch at Soup Mo counter, cream of asparagus with crackers.
What was that?
You know your mother's problems. If she slips up again, it could mean demerits for the whole family. There she is, polishing the statue in the park. Just like the schedule dictates. Oh, then everything's fine. Good. Unless... How was she when you spoke to her? Lucid? Sober?
Whoa, Dad, what are you telling me? Are you saying Mom's a drunk?
Shh, I don't know for sure that your mother has relapsed into her old ways, but she's been acting very odd lately, almost as if she didn't like my constant supervision.
Alright, now that's,
Confidentially, I suspect she's got a flask
yeah, that
hidden
is just
somewhere.
so creepy.
Probably very near the spot where she's working right now. Do me a favor, son, will you? See if you can worm the truth out of her. She won't confide in me, but she may be less guarded with you. Double rations this week if you help your old man out. What do you say? That's a good boy.
Okay, Dad, we need to talk.
Okay, that is just messed up.
What were you hiding when I came in just now?
Hiding? I don't know what you're talking about, son.
Come on, I saw it. It was a videotape, right?
I might as well tell you. After all, you'll be 18 soon.
Tell me what?
Hill Valley under Citizen Brown is not quite the contented town you were led to believe it was.
I don't believe it.
This isn't a criticism of the great man himself, of course, or his sainted wife, Edna. No one's worked harder than they to apply the most advanced social planning techniques to our municipality. But,
What?
confidentially, not everybody appreciates it. A great many citizens, perhaps even the majority, actively resent the Brown administration. They don't say so publicly, of course. But in private, well, just listen.
I tell you, Bert, this regime is a joke. They're all laughing at us over in Fairfax.
A toast to Citizen Brown. May his beloved courthouse be struck by lightning. Shh, Agnes, you're awful. Are you coming to the town square, Lester? Citizen Brown's about to give another speech.
Citizen Brown can kiss my hairy...
Well, you get the idea.
Sounds like people can't stand what the Browns have done to Hill Valley.
Jeez.
Not everyone. Only around 50%, maybe 60.
Does Citizen Brown know?
He should. Whenever I send copies of my raw footage to the Public Relations Department over at the courthouse, I get a memo telling me how much Citizen Brown thanks me for my service. But how could he see those videos and not do anything about it?
Maybe you should take your tapes directly to Brown.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, sure, he might appreciate my bringing these problems to his attention and reward me for my public service, but then again, they say it's never wise to be the bearer of bad news.
Why don't you give me those videotapes? I'll take them to Citizen Brown.
Thanks for offering, son, but I don't want to get you involved. Citizen Brown won't like what he sees on them, and I wouldn't want you to get the brunt of his displeasure, not to mention the displeasure of all the folks on the tapes. Once they find out I recorded them, no, I'm not letting these tapes out of my sight. It's too dangerous.
Wow.
It's about Mom. How'd she get to be such a mess? This isn't how she is in my perfect world.
You're right, it's a real puzzle. Because of course we both know Hill Valley is a perfect world, but for some peculiar reason, the harder I try to get her to conform to the rules, the more she slips up.
Wow.
She's thinking about signing up for the Citizen Plus program.
Is she now?
You're not gonna let her go through with it, are you?
Well, from what I hear, it's a fairly drastic procedure which completely reshapes the subject's personality. On the other hand, if Citizen Brown recommends it, it's gotta be a good thing.
Don't you think Mom would be a little
God.
more relaxed if you gave her just a little bit of space?
Now, there's a fine suggestion. What would Hill Valley be like if people gave each other space? Why, we'd all be tempted to follow our own impulses, and there's no telling where that might lead. Something on your mind?
It's about me.
I'm all ears.
If you notice the peanut brittle right there is a reference to the first movie. In a deleted scene, there's a girl selling peanut brittle, and George has a hard time saying no. And he ends up buying so much peanut brittle. And, and that's what he's eating for breakfast in one scene.
Well, from certain things I've heard, I get the idea that people in this town regard Marty McFly as a
what?
nerd.
They said that?
In so many words.
Just because a boy studies hard and gets straight A's and respects the rules and doesn't party or drink or stay out late and is perhaps a bit socially inept and obsessed with personal hygiene and prefers his rubber band collection
Stop!
to...
I really don't want to hear anymore.
I'm proud of you, son.
I'm trying to understand why Jennifer broke up with me in this time. Recent past.
Are you still mooning over that girl? Forget her! She's bad news. Why, my surveillance cameras have caught her doing things that are completely against the Hill Valley Code.
I don't want to know.
Kissing boys. Sitting with boys in cars. I've kept quiet about it for her father's sake, but believe me, you're well rid of her.
Is there anywhere you expect me to be, like, right now?
Well, I did expect you to be up at the lake until tomorrow with that Math-O-Magic competition, so I guess your time is pretty much your own right now.
Okay, different subject.
Yeah?
It's about someone we both know.
Yes?
You
Biff.
seen Biff lately?
Not since he went to the reconditioning center. Is he back among the living?
Depends on what you mean by living. He's really different from the way I remember him.
Lucky dog. In a way, it isn't fair that Hill Valley's biggest scofflaw should be the first to receive the benefits of the new Citizens Plus program. But I know I shouldn't be jealous.
Have you ever spent time with Citizen Brown?
Well, of course I'm in the audience for every one of his public addresses.
One-on-one, I mean.
Oh, no. He'd never notice a common Sector L citizen like me. But I dream that someday he'll recognize me for my public service and maybe let me shake his hand.
Wow, George, you're even much more of a dweeb here than you were in the first movie.
What can you tell me about Edna?
Mrs. Citizen Brown? Oh, she's a wonderful woman. People just think of her as this sweet, self-effacing grandmotherly type.
Edna? Are we talking about the
But
same?
really, she's just as involved in running the town as her husband is.
David and Linda.
Have you heard from them?
No, I thought maybe you had.
Not in ages. As far as I know, he's still working for the big city newspaper, and she's still in that women's boarding house. I'll never understand why they decided to leave Hill Valley.
Okay, you
Something on
okay,
your
buddy,
mind?
you really need help.
Well, I'll leave you to your snooping.
Supervising, son.
Like, that
Supervising.
is just
I'll leave you to it.
terrifying.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you got hit with some more demerits, Nathan. Good on you.
Like, I mean, come on. Like, you are literally sending your son to go get your wife to confess. Like, that is so low. And that's low on so many levels. Talk to Lorraine.
Mom? Mom, are you drinking again?
Don't be silly, dear. Booze is illegal, you know.
Yeah, Mom. It's just that Dad mentioned.
Your father. Why, I just can't get away from his prying eyes. Always spying, always watching.
Sorry about that.
You mind your own business, George.
Now, Lorraine, this is for your own good. I know you're keeping a secret from me.
It's mine to keep.
Dad! Mom! Knock it off, you two!
Now, you listen here, young man. This is an adult matter between your mother and me.
Dad, I know, but your way isn't working. You gotta give her some space here.
Huh? Where'd she go?
Mom?
Aha! I knew it. What is that in your hand? Rum? Gin? A wine cooler?
For your information, it's brass cleaner. I have a job to do here, you know.
Lorraine.
No.
Lorraine, I'm just trying to look out for you.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, so what you have to do is you have to get the statue, like where the arrow's pointing. You get like right into the camera, so George can't see anything.
What happened? What the heck am I looking at?
Yes!
It serves George right because this is wrong on so many levels.
I
Because
don't want to annoy whoever's on the other end of that thing.
like literally doing that to his
Mom,
wife
now that
and
Dad
making
isn't
his
watching.
son
Oh, Martin.
Was that a flask,
it's
Mom?
just wrong.
Flask? Don't be ridiculous.
Look, it's okay, Mom. Get a hold of yourself.
Oh, your father's right. I'm backsliding. But it's been so hard, what with your brother and sister leaving, and then your father getting obsessed with his monitors, and
Let me take care of the flask. Dad doesn't have to know anything about it.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I couldn't bear the thought of facing your father over this.
This timeline sucks. Mom and Dad are fighting again. Mom's drinking. It's like everything Doc and I ever did to fix things is falling apart. Time to get some attention. My mom's flask. It feels a little low. I could get in a lot of trouble if I were caught with this.
Alright, let's talk to Lorraine.
Mom? I'm having a bad day, Mom. Can I ask you a few things?
We all have our share, son.
Yeah.
I, lost my timesheet. What have I got going on this week?
Well, Monday is Junior Brown Brigade,
Junior what now?
and Tuesday is Model UN.
Model UN.
Mm-hmm. You represent Djibouti. On Wednesday, you'll be overseeing the board game club at the rec center.
Okay, I've heard enough. I saw Jennifer earlier today.
Oh, Jennifer. What a spunky gal. Are you two patching things up?
She totally blew me off.
Well, I'm not the world's biggest dating expert, seeing as how I married the first guy to fall from the sky. But maybe you should spend a little less time with your microscopes and ant farms, and a little more time tending to her needs. What kind of things is she passionate about, Martin? What are her interests?
I don't even know anymore.
You see?
Yeah, that is true because when you're in a relationship, you tend to each other's needs, not just your own. Like, you always, have fun with, your friends. Like, I, for one, like to watch movies. My girlfriend knows that. Like, she knows how much I love to watch movies. And I also know how much she likes to play video games. And I know, that she likes to watch movies as well, like me. And play music and all sorts of stuff. So this is, where... with Back to the Future, what Lorraine says is true. Marty is, not exactly, was never a good boy because he put his needs before hers. And that's, where he kind of lost, everything in this timeline.
Everyone is treating me like some sort of goody two-shoes, Mom.
They're just jealous that you're such a perfect citizen of Hill Valley.
Have I always been this way?
Always been a perfect little son. Going on 18 years now.
What about that time I set fire to the living room?
Oh, but you only did that so you could show us the fire retardant you made with your chemistry set.
Heavy. All right, let's talk about something else.
Alrighty, dear.
So, what's up with Dad?
Indeed. What is up with him?
That setup in his garage is pretty intense.
That's not the word I'd use. More like creepy.
I heard that.
It is creepy.
What about you, Mom?
What about me?
What are you doing out here polishing the statue?
I know! I was scheduled to clean the clock this month, but then Needle's mom ate some of that bad tofu that's been going around. So there was some reshuffling in the L Sector duty roster, and here I am. I kinda wish I was cleaning the clock, though. So much nicer up there without all the cameras.
The cameras?
Wave to Big Brother. Or Big Husband in this case.
I saw you talking to Biff about the Citizen Plus program.
Biff says I'd be a perfect candidate for it.
I know Biff, and if that's what the Citizen Plus program does to people, then you don't want any part of it.
But Biff has been reformed. Look at him. He seems so happy now. So at peace with this town. What I wouldn't give.
He's a total veg, Mom.
Your father is always telling me that I don't invest enough in the workings of our great Citizen Brown. Maybe it's time for me to turn a new leaf and just go with the flow.
Okay, just hold off for a bit, please. I don't want you doing anything rash.
Oh.
All right, let's talk about something else.
Alrighty, dear.
Is it just me, or does Hill Valley feel really strict today?
Some might even call it stifling. But you didn't hear that from me.
Biff told me that he got in trouble for public displays of affection.
Yeah, this is just
Can you
wrong.
believe it? Sure, things got a little out of control back in the 60s with the free love and all, but now even holding hands will get you a verbal warning.
Wait, so you can't even kiss?
Can't even hug. It's barbaric. City Hall treats us like a bunch of children going to the movies.
Yeah, that is actually a very good way. That is a pretty good way of describing it.
Biff was talking about all the contraband he used to keep. Do you know anything about that?
What are you implying, Martin?
I'm not implying anything. I just want to know what kind of contraband might still be around. You know, so I can watch out for it. Like a good citizen.
Well, I wouldn't know about such things. But people still smuggle alcohol in from the next county. I heard the kids at school have been smuggling Xerox copies of Dungeons and Dragons. I bet you'd be into something like that, huh?
I'll get back to you on that.
Marty's face.
Is it
Oh,
true
no,
that
this is
Biff
the
was
saddest
responsible
one.
for getting dogs outlawed?
I think that was all Edna's idea. She's always had a sore spot for dogs. Now your father and I, we love dogs.
You do? I didn't know that. How come we never had a dog?
We had meant to get one to teach you children about responsibility, but by the time we had you, dogs had already been banned. Now I don't think we'll ever have the chance to raise a puppy.
Jeez, Mom, that could be the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that is.
All right,
pretty
let's talk about
depressing.
something else.
Alrighty, dear.
I feel like I don't know anybody anymore.
Well, Martin, that could be a sign you need to get out more.
So really,
Is there any way I could talk to Citizen
pretty much
Brown?
the same
Oh,
stuff.
you know how difficult that is, Martin. The great man spends so much time coming up with new rules and demerits that he barely has time to talk to us anymore. I guess that's the price we pay for a safe, happy city.
So he doesn't see anyone?
Not unless someone starts rolling up the demerits. He still takes a personal interest in those situations.
Hmm.
And of course you could talk to Mrs. Brown.
Clara?
No, silly. Edna.
Edna Strickland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's. I'm sorry, like that always confused me. Like you just meet Edna, then you like hear about Citizen Edna, and Marty's like Edna Strickland. Like if you don't do it in order, it like feels like it's just funny.
Wait, Doc, Citizen Brown is married to Edna Strickland?
Did you get a bump on the head or something? They've been happily married for nearly 40 years. In fact, if you ask me, I think Edna wears the pants in the relationship. She's the one always announcing the day-to-day bulletins. Probably writes them herself.
I need to sit down. Biff seems, unusually mellow.
Well, he should be. He just finished the Citizen Plus program. So far, it looks like it's done him a world of good.
You don't think he seems a bit off? I mean, he's so un-Biff.
Well, isn't that the point? You remember what he used to be like? He was an unholy terror.
He wasn't that bad.
Now, sure, but you should have seen him in high school.
I can imagine. What do you think of Jennifer, Mom?
Well, she certainly looked like quite a handful, dear. I was really hoping some of her, joie de vivre would have rubbed off on you.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Martin, you can be a little uptight sometimes.
Jeez, don't sugarcoat it, Mom.
Well, maybe you needed to hear it. There's nothing wrong with having priorities in life. Just Maybe Jennifer should have been a little higher on your list.
Yeah, she should.
Well, you did buy that guitar. That's a step in the right direction. Women love musicians. Just keep practicing, and I'm sure you'll get better.
What are you talking about? I'm a great musician.
That's the spirit.
Jen's dad doesn't seem to like me very much.
He's just a little stressed out, dear. Filling the crime-stomping shoes of his legendary father makes poor Danny Jr. a little twitchy.
So I see.
But he gets the job done. Between him and his father, Hill Valley's been as dry as the Sahara Desert for decades now. Unfortunately.
Dry? Doc was right. We did overdo it. All right, let's talk about something else.
Alrighty, dear.
So now we know that Lorraine's basically an emotional train wreck. So what you have to do is you have to give this to Officer Parker.
Hands up, citizen. Assume the position.
Here goes nothing.
There better be apple juice in this.
Why don't you open it and find out?
Don't get smart with me.
That is such a smart aleck response.
I knew you were no good, McFly.
Officer Parker, what seems to be the problem here?
Citizen McFly, ma'am. Came strolling up with a 181B violation in his pocket.
Ugh. You, young citizen, where did you get that booze?
Nowhere?
Is he being smart with me?
Yeah, he played that attitude on me as well.
Could we just fast forward the lecture and just get this over with already? No!
Officer, demerit him severely. And as for the alcohol, drop it into the recycling bin.
With pleasure, ma'am. Now, keep your nose clean, or you'll find yourself in front of Citizen Brown.
This is for possession of an illegal and socially corrosive substance. Some might argue that description.
Yeah, actually some might. So basically prohibition is still in effect here. Alright guys, that does it for this episode. I'm going to be going across the street. And I'm going to be starting up the next part. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you wish to see more Let's Plays and movie reviews, subscribe. I might be planning on doing some more stuff. If you guys want to ask me anything or request anything, a movie or a game, let me know in the comments. And thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch this. I hope you guys have an amazing day. My name is Isaiah Hill, signing off.